Okay, hello, brother. I am here to answer one of your questions. I have a question here like, what was I think, my and our biggest adjustment coming down here for living as a missionary family? Right at the beginning, we were just my wife and two kids. We had our daughter Abby and Paul as well. Yeah, Abby was like almost 4 years, and Pablo was like uh, 6 months, something like that. And obviously, there are several adjustments that you have to do, like moving from a city where you have everything, like um, grocery stores. You can get a lot of stuff uh, quite quickly. And right at the beginning, when we came here, the state where this place belongs to, it was kind of poor in several equipments. Stores didn't have a lot of stuff that you can get even in other villages in Mexico, in other places. Like if you drive more south, like to my state, most of the people living in the mountains, they have big stores like hardware stores, grocery stores, and they have almost everything you need in life. But even at Ruiz, where's the closest town to us, where you can get cash or auto parts and hardware stuff and things like that, clothes, um, like more like a city, a small city. And right at the beginning, I had to adjust myself to not having access to most of the things that I knew before getting in here, and my wife as well. And yeah, but that was not really an adjustment we had to make. That was kind of an easy stuff. Like, when you are thinking in going and living in the mountains, serving God as a missionary, you already know before that there are a lot of stuff that is not in there. There are not mechanics close to your house, close in your village, in your town, or whatever. And so you know that you have to drive through hard secondary roads or dirt roads or whatever. So, but for me, if you are asking to me what was the biggest adjustment I had to make, for me was dealing with heat. Heat is something that I never knew living in my home state, because my home state has a um, it is not so hot by the summertime, and it is not so cold in the wintertime. um, it's more like living in San Diego, California, something more like living in probably San Francisco or places like that. More, I don't know if that's the word, more template weather. So even before I had the experience to know how the heat is right at the northern state of Chihuahua, which is nuts also. But that was a dry weather, as some of you know. Like, it's pretty similar to what you have in this uh, state of Texas, in the southern border. Like, El Paso is pretty much the same as Chihuahua City, Ciudad Juarez in Mexico. And the heat is it's hot and it's dry. But with time I learned how to deal with that. But heat and humidity, that was another thing. And I think that's my Achilles stuff. And right at the beginning, the way I deal the thing is, well, it was like, that's my cross, that's the price I have to pay to live here and to minister to the quota. But it was more like complying in a not so mature way, not in a way that I was like showing. In some way, I liked what we were doing, learning language, culture, serving the quota, ministering to the quota. I mean, when it's rainy season, is the hottest season, but the rain makes everything go green and beautiful. There are creeks and rivers and waterfalls everywhere, and you see life just growing in a beautiful way. But humidity kills me. And at some point, I had to take a different approach. I had to approach the thing in a different way. And that was definitely like giving thanks to God for the weather and the heat. And not just because I had to, but because I wanted to. Most of the time, before I realized that and took that decision to be thankful to God and for the beautiful things that He gives me every day, it was more like bitter in some way because of that. So I was not really happy, obviously. And I'm not saying that I am now happy dealing with heat and humidity. Most of the time in the area we live in, it's hot. Like right now we have our fans on most of the day, and even by nights on, because the heat is already started. We are getting like 80s by the day. And so being grateful helped me. Being grateful towards God helped me to, it just changed my heart, my mind, and it was like a miraculous thing happened inside of me. My humor changed. It was like if I were delivered from something. And now I still noticing heat and humidity, but I am thankful for what God has given us. And one of the things that I experienced before, it was distress, and now I do not get distressed. I just say, this is what it is. This is what God has for me, and I am thankful. It's part of life living here, and yeah. But basically, being thankful towards God, that was the thing that helped me to have a more blessed life and more happy doing what I'm doing with my family. Obviously, as I said right at the beginning of this video, it was a big adjustment to move from a city to a place where it's not a city, obviously. It's living in the mountains, dust everywhere. You can right at the beginning we couldn't have access to internet in several ways. We had something like dialing up. It was this system like, and it was like awful. And we tried the satellite internet by HughesNet, and that didn't work because of area. And then things started changing with time, and now we have something better. Like we have this, I think it's this X stuff or Starlink, and it's way better. We never thought that we would had something like that. I mean, like, it is fast. We can load videos like this heavy, and do a lot of stuff in internet that right at the beginning we couldn't, and that was not a big deal. We just had to write emails to our family, and sometimes we called them and had a kind of long conversations through that mean regular call for it's this phones that you hold like this, old ones. That was a blessing to have that right at the beginning. But for me specifically, heat and humidity was my biggest adjustment, the biggest adjustment in my life that I had to do. It changed, like just giving thanks to God. Yeah. So thank you for watching this, and we appreciate your prayers in every way. Thank you, brethren.